Ex-convicts of Reddit. What crime earns the most respect in prison? Escaping. I have a close family member that tried escaping. He got close but failed. He got extra time on his sentence and did an extra 6 months in solitary, but when he returned to mainstream he was treated like a hero. It's human nature to try and not be trapped in a box. Why put him in a smaller box for a longer time? Killing someone while defending a child, or revenge for one. According to this mob bosses, bank robbers and cop killers are most respected. Cop killers are lucky to get to prison. Depends on the country. Not everywhere has the death penalty or cops that are armed by default. Killing a child molester, animal abuser. Not an ex-con, but my father was, and I ask a lot of questions myself. Haha. Animal abuse. Didn't think that would make hardcore convicts angry. It makes me angry, but I'm surprised at that. I heard that doing armed robbery to get into a prison that your brother is in an attempt to bust him out is pretty respectable. Too bad your brother will probably keep messing up all of your genius plans. What if you meet DB Cooper? Will actually get you respect in prison is following the code. Wearing pink on Wednesday, for example. You can't sit with US. No touching. I imagine a massive bank heist would be well respected. Well, that wouldn't really be a good robber if they were caught, now would they? Say, hypothetically it was months, or even years down the line though, they almost got away with it and they still have the cash tucked away in a separate account? Rebroadcasting NFL games with only implied oral consent instead of express written consent. Or so the legend goes. Well, you could say Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Huh. Watch your language. Also, have you cleaned your room, called your mother, brushed your teeth? According to my dad, as everyone has said on here, anyone found to have hurt, killed women, children, animals or the elderly. A side note, my grandma was in prison with Myra Hindley before the jails were segregated as much according to what crimes you committed. She was only there for petty theft. And my grandma allegedly beat 7 shades of out of Hindley. From what I hear, you can make anything sound respect worthy, but please tell me that's an intentional misspelling. No, it isn't. Lollygagging. Not dilly-dallying. Stabbing an incompetent air traffic controller to death. Evidently that earns you respect on the outside too. So meta. Selling counterfeit jeans out of a friend's basement. Ooh, the garage. The garage. Well, la-di-da. Mr. Frenchman. Well, what do you call it? A car hole. What are you all doing in my car hole? Traditionally then armed robbery, then money crimes, including drugs and burglary, then molesters and rappers. It's really more about how the person carries themselves than what got them there, though, except for crimes, then it's straight to protective custody. Accountant accused of murdering his wife, then cooking the books for the warden only to incriminate him by handing the evidence to the authorities. Our Lord of the Files. Excellent play. No, you fool. It's the Green Mile. A friend of mine got 5 years for forgery, and he was treated as if he was some kind of rocket scientist inside jail. Apparently forgers are rare enough to be semi-respected inside. The kings of the blocks were the blaggers, aka people prepared to use weapons while doing crime, which is very rare in the UK, so I'm told, anyway. Blagged a bookie. I just was watching Snatch. Might have wanted a serious tag. I don't understand why though. The question is specific. If you can't answer the question, GTFO. I don't see why people make stupid comments if they don't relate to the question. Why bother commenting something You know what I mean? Littering and creating a nuisance. You're our boy. Except in the 19 minutes it took you to tell them of your crime, Obi has moved you twice. At least I'll have fun playing with the pencils on the bench. 23-year-old here. Spent some time in the prison system in a state with less than 1 million people. I can honestly say that if multiple people have heard your name specifically because of drug dealing before you come to prison, you will be well respected. Cop killers. Removing the tag from the mattress. Male fraud gets the most respect. Old heads who keep their mouth shut. It's the little guys in for drug charges who get beat up the most aside from chomos. Source: CO. This. My husband did 3 years in prison for a non-violent non-sexual related felony. He was growing pot, you know. But anyway, he said he loved hanging with the lifers because they just minded their own business and did what they needed to do to get through another day. He also watched a chomo get both of his legs snapped in two by some guys that jumped him and said he didn't feel the least bit sorry for the guy. Baby killers and chomos will always get the kicked out of them, and they completely deserve it. What's a chomo? Chomo is slang for child molester. Thanks. Thought I had it right, but I was way off. Help the prison guards commit fraud. I saw a movie once about a guy who was serving time at Shawshank prison for being wrongly convicted of murder. He was naturally seeking redemption. During his time at Shawshank he helped the guards commit fraud and ultimately got his redemption by managing to escape from Shawshank. His redemption went further as many of the guards at Shawshank were convicted of fraud. I think it was called The Man Who Broke Free from Prison. My hubby did 3 years in state prison and he said there is no particular crime that gets you respect. Standing up for yourself and not taking anybody's shit will get you respect. On a side note, why are we so kind of okay with the idea of prisoner rape? I mean, isn't rape wrong? Like, always wrong 100% of the time? Am I alone here? I went down my second time for aggrieved battery on a cop. I got a ton of praise for that. Convincing the guards to give your fellow inmates beer on the last day of your work detail. Tax evasion. Jaywalking, like a I own this street. I'll cross it where I like. That didn't work out so well for Mike Brown. Should I feel bad laughing about that? Enjoy your upvote. Throw away your first computer. Music pirating, especially if it was more than 20 GB. All I really recall is that shit goes down when the Mexicans are wearing boots. That's one way to start a sentence. Definitely at top with hold my beer. LOL, I made horrible life decisions during an interesting time of my life. I won't lie. That would make him an ex-con? Now let's see y'all go to prison or even county jail and correct everybody's punctuation. Crimes against humanity. I like the card version better. Former inmate here. Is the answer. Knowing that the guy sitting across the table from you has literally taken someone's life previously and has absolutely nothing left to lose if he does it again is a little chilling. When I say that, I don't mean to paint the picture of a Silence of the Lambs type of person. Murderers are totally normal people, sometimes, who just had a terrible series of events occur, throw in a little booze and etc. They wake up hungover in a jail cell, and little do they know they will never to set foot in the free world again. Blackout drunk and have absolutely no memory of the event that put them there. That, my friends, is a guy you don't want to get in a prison fist fight with. I went in for a museum job that went over well enough, perhaps beating up some cops would score better inside. Sheer size. I feel this is pertaining to Goldberg and The Longest Yard. Huh. In Oregon at least, among the white population in prison your crime does not matter as far as social standing, unless you are a sex offender or killed a child. Any sex offense is an automatic shitlisting, but especially pedophilia or child porn. Hopefully killing crooked govt officials. Just kidding. Please don't blacklist me. Armed robbery is a solid choice. Depends. Killing a pedophile injuring one will get you a lot of nods. If you're gang affiliated, then murdering a rival gang member will get you a lot more respect amongst your crew. So out of curiosity, what crimes should you never admit to in jail? 1. No question that you gave significant assistance to the prosecution in order for a sentence reduction. In feds, this is called USSG 5K1.1 and not even offenders are as hated. That's why you always need your pre-sentence investigation. available, even though the BOP doesn't allow it. One sniff at you'll snitch and you're in deep Snitches become bitches lol. Anything that involves killing a cop killer or child molester or something of the sort. I imagine tax evasion would earn a lot of respect considering most prisoners hate the government system. Yeah, no, respect is earned by doing dirt that takes stones. Evading taxes is like lying in a job interview to make yourself look better. Almost everyone does it to some extent, so there's no real danger, no risk, and therefore no respect. Be like respecting someone for climbing a staircase like you respect someone for climbing MT McKinley. Improper use of the semicolon. And when you're in jail you have to watch out for improper use of the colon. No, nobody's interested, I'm on my period. Not me, but a friend of mine earned mad respect when he worked out a way for his girlfriend to suck his while he took laundry out to the van. Apparently they were seen. He was put in solitary for a bit, and then given mad respect when put back in the gen pop. This is probably unique to the southern US. I'm in Alabama, but since most of the people in our prisons are black, I hear that you get a lot of respect for killing a Klansman or a cop, and probably bonus points for killing a Klan affiliated cop. Most people in all US prisons are black. The KKK and related violence isn't so prominent up north though.